Kevin, thank you. Welcome, everyone, to Sunday Night Baseball here on ESPN. It is presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Gorgeous night after downpour all day Saturday. Forced a split doubleheader today, but a beautiful day and now night. Mr. Met woke up and said, let's play two, and that's what we're doing. Max Scherzer got the start in game one. He, of course, has 3 Cy Young awards to his credit. He looked really good, David Cone. Breaking pitch was outstanding.
Yeah, he threw just enough fastballs to keep him honest, and the combination of curveball slider was overwhelming.
All right, David Robertson came on in relief. Ottavino wasn't great. Robertson gives up a 2-run shot to Jose Ramirez. And the Guardians had a lead until starting Marte in the bottom of the 8th continued a recent trend. Mets get big hits, big homers late in games, and they've won 4 in a row. And now they turn it over to another 3-time Cy Young Award winner, and that is Justin Verlander. Last year, they were 30 up and 17 down, and now they are just over 500, 24 and 23. Really good pitching matchup because Shane Bieber will be on the mound for the Guardians. Similar record to last year when they then went off and won 92 and lost only 70 on their way to a Central Crown. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Buster Olney is going to join us in just a bit. That's Eduardo Perez, David Cone, and I am Carl Ravitch. Welcome. So, wow, I mean, sometimes you step into it, and we did with Verlander and Bieber, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Good pedigrees across the board. I mean, Verlander's going directly to the Hall of Fame whenever he decides that he's finished, and he's far from finished. He wants to get to 4,000 strikeouts, currently about 3,200. Just remarkable. There's only 19 people in the history of the game that have 3,000 strikeouts. And then, oh yeah, on the other side, Shane Bieber's pretty good too. 2020 Cy Young Award winner, a real craftsman, a breaking ball artist that paints his fastball.
Neither guy was particularly great in his last start. Verlander gave up 6 earned, and Bieber pitched really well about into the 4th, and then it just all fell apart. What feels like should be a good Verlander game because the Guardians do not make good solid contact. They don't hit the ball over the wall, and he feels like he's made an adjustment. So these two offenses are similar, and yet the Mets have more power.
Yeah, they have more power, and they've been showing it off late in games, and I think now they're starting to feel their mojo. They were doubting themselves early on in the season, but this week it's been an epic week for them. You look at what happened Wednesday, see the win probability on the left side. It was Pete Alonso flexing his power and muscles and was able to deliver in a big way coming back in the 10th. And then it was Francisco Paquito Lindor being able to do the same thing, but this time with a base hit. But the emotions have been there. It carried on already to this afternoon in the 8th inning with starting Marte. And now we have tonight. And the New York Mets, they're riding a high with Pete Alonso leading the way.
Certainly are. Alonso leading the major leagues in home runs. Verlander starting to make his move back towards the infield, and soon he'll be on the mound to take on Jose Ramirez and the Cleveland Guardians. It is Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. It's presented by Casamigos Tequila. It's brought to you by those who drink it. We'll have first pitch coming up on Sunday night as Lindor reunited with his old buddy Ramirez. Guardians and Mets after this. Well, it goes without saying, proverbs have been around a long, long time. Like, good things come to those who wait. Though Terry Francona didn't have to wait too long. After 4 years in Philadelphia, he won 2 World Series rings with the Red Sox. And now he finds himself in year 11 with Cleveland, where he's as popular there as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if the shoe fits, wear it, like Buck Showalter has for the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Orioles, and now the Mets. Still searching for his first title. Buck and Mets fans sure hope it's better late than never. And while these two great ball minds might think alike, they lead clubs that look nothing alike. A payroll 4 times that of the Guardians, the grass, and Steve Cohen's money is greener in Queens. Just ask Francisco Lindor, who was lured for the 2-1-6 to the 7-1-8. But bigger isn't always better, and age doesn't always come before beauty. Last year, the kids from Cleveland, the youngest group in baseball, won an AL Central crown, while the Mets, baseball's oldest, had to settle for second place. So did Roy Kent. The show must go on, and while it feels like forever ago these teams won a title, over 70 years for Cleveland, approaching 40 for the Flushing faithful, there's no better time than the present. Buck Showalter after title number 1. And Terry Francona, of course, 2 World Series champion. Down to the man who's got the Midas touch. That's Buster Olney.
Thanks, Carl. Here with Andres Gimenez. You, of course, went to Cleveland in that Francisco Lindor trade. What's it like for you to be back here in Citi Field?
Special, man. It's just a special come here, 3 years later after the deal was made. And for me, it's a special, and I have great memories here.
All right, tonight you're facing future Hall of Famer Justin Verlander. What's your plan?
I try to keep it simple, try to get a good pitch to hit, and just try to keep it simple, like I say, see the ball and hit the ball.
All right, Andres. Thanks. Carl, back to you.
All right, Buster, thank you. Yeah, generally, whoever Buster talks to tends to get on base. We'll see if that happens. That deal he was talking about sent Rosario and Gimenez to the Guardians, Lindor and Carlos Carrasco here to the New York Mets. Starting in lineup, it'll start out with Kwan, who does not strike out very often. Ahmed Rosario, and then Ramirez, Naylor, Andres Gimenez. Gabriel Arias gets the start at shortstop tonight. Will Brennan is in right field. Straw and Cam Gallagher, who's banged up a little bit, gets the start behind the plate.
Yeah, and it's a lineup that's designed to get on base and create havoc. They need to steal bases, put pressure on the defense.
Justin Verlander, 40 years young. 2 years, $86 million on a contract, and you take a look at some of the Cy Young type numbers he's put up, the Hall of Fame resume, 3 no-hitters, 3 Cy Young awards, and he is the 11th pitcher in baseball history to win 3. 7 guys have actually won 3. Clemens, of course, won 7. So you see the great start in Cincinnati, 7 innings, 7 Ks. He didn't allow a homer. And then 2-2 against both Detroit, and everybody's given up homers to the Rays.
Yeah, the Rays are top to bottom the deepest lineup in the big league so far this year in terms of really just about every category or any category you want to pick, including home runs. And Justin gave up 2 in that game against the Rays. And you think about Justin Verlander, when you think about stylistically speaking, that is 7 feet off the ground. Nobody releases the ball that high. It really hasn't changed his whole career. And you think about the 4-seamer and the curve, the way they work off of each other, the high-low strategy. The 4-seamer goes high, the curveball goes low. You mix in a slider there somewhere in the middle as well. But from a career standpoint, a career high average height on the 4-seamer this year and a career low average on the curveball down. I think he'd like to try to find somewhere in the medium range there and be able to throw strikes with his 4-seamer at the top of the zone.
Yeah, and he had admitted after that last start against the Rays a little something off with his mechanics, and he's as impatient to fix it as anybody is impatient to fix it. We'll see if he made an adjustment tonight. Brett Beatty's going to be at third base tonight. Lindor is at short. McNeil was in left field to start game 1. He moves to the infield. He'll play second. And Alonso is at first. Tommy Pham's in left. Nimmo, who had a homer in game 1. Mark Hanna is in right field. And the catcher tonight, Francisco Alvarez. So we are set for the second game. Mets won game 1, 5-4. And here's Verlander's first pitch of the night. In there, strike 1 to Kwan, 93, top of the zone. I mentioned Stephen Kwan, his ability to not strike out separates him from most other guys. Scherzer got him in the first game in his first at bat. Verlander misses there. Foul out of play. 7th lowest strikeout rate in baseball this season. 3rd lowest whiff rate in baseball this season. And like a lot of guys for the Guardians last year, really big seasons, which allowed them to win 92 games. This year, some of those guys down a little bit, really across the board. Kwan, center field, and boy, a little misread there, but Nimmo is able to recover and make a sliding catch.
Yeah, a little hesitation by Brandon Nimmo in center field, who last year started playing deeper than usual. This year he's brought it up a little bit. And with Stephen Kwan at the plate, one thing that Nimmo did do was play a few more steps in, and because of it, hesitated but was able to make that play.
Ahmed Rosario, the designated hitter in this one. Verlander spins one in there at the top of the zone, a curveball. He fouled it back. is rolling just foul as it heads towards Alonso, who playfully tries to move it back into fair territory, as if nobody would see him do that.
Yes.
Alonso's been in a really good mood lately, and so have the Mets, winners of 4 in a row and a whole bunch of late inning heroics. They did use Ottavino and Robertson today. 0-2 as Verlander delivers. Bounce that one to Alvarez.
I saw Gary Cohen before the game. His voice sounded a little hoarse from all,
Yeah.
from all
A lot
the
of
drama
excitement. Yeah.
over the last 4 games here. All those comebacks, just remarkable.
Well, they've played a bunch of close games. Nobody's played as many one-run games as the Guardians. Terry Francona telling us earlier today, with an offense that doesn't score a ton of runs, it feels like every game is an intense playoff game with very little margin for error. 1-2, and Beatty fires across. Good speed from Rosario, but he got him by half a step.
Beatty's played an excellent third base since being called up. In game 1, made a nice play going to his left with Max Scherzer on the mound, and there, understanding the speed of Rosario, and you have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, Joey Cora, for getting him ready, understanding who you're defending.
Beatty, part of the baby Mets, debuting this year and playing regularly. First pitch to Jose Ramirez, the third baseman, misses away.
That really is the story of the Mets, right? With all the offseason payroll talk, it's really these young kids that have come up and given them a jolt of life.
Ramirez homered in game 1, put the Guardians up as Verlander misses down and away. Yeah, so it's Beatty at third base, Vientos, who's the DH, and Alvarez, who's behind the plate. They all came up through the system together. Ramirez fouls that back into the seats. No, it's not Pulsifer, Wilson, and Isringhausen, but there's a lot of excitement about these 3 guys.
Hell, there really is. And especially with Francisco Alvarez, is will he be able to mature enough behind the plate? Because they know that bat eventually will work.
Ramirez hammers one to right field, and Canna looks at it. Upper tank. Jose Ramirez, second of the day, first of this one. And the Guardians jump on Verlander, who's had a problem with the home run ball, and lead it 1-0.
And as we have the conversation about the baby Mets, Jose Ramirez is saying, wait a second, what about me? That's the circle guy in the lineup. You see how fast it left the ballpark, over 106 miles per hour. But look at the location, Coney. Misses in, and you can't do that to a superstar hitter like Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, he's as quick as anybody on the inner half of the plate. And maybe the best superstar that you might not have heard of. Jose Ramirez, fantastic player.
418 feet later, it landed in the second deck in right field. Verlander gave a couple in 2 of his 3 starts. Bounces one into Naylor, and this is another guy that does put the ball over the wall for the Guardians. Naylor's got 7 homers on the season. Jose Ramirez now has 6. McNeil smothers it and throws out Naylor. And Jose Ramirez has announced his return with authority. A homer in game 1 and a big fly here to start game 2. Guardians lead it. We'll see the Mets come to the plate for the first time after this. '29 home runs last year, 36 the season before, 39 in 2018 for Mr. Consistency, Jose Ramirez. And now we take a look at Buck Showalter's New York Mets starting lineup. Nimmo, Lindor, and McNeil, followed by Alonso, Beatty, and Mark Canha. Then Vientos, Pham, and Francisco Alvarez. We talk a lot about the Guardians' inability to hit the ball over the wall. I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there wondering why you're pitching to Jose Ramirez.
Well, he is the one guy you kind of circle in that lineup and say, don't let him beat me. And Certainly Verlander is a Hall of Famer, though, so you know he's conditioned to believe he can get anybody out at any time.
Saw Shane Bieber's numbers. Cy Young winner in 2020. First pitch to Nimmo is in there, 91. One thing you'll notice about Bieber this season, it's a bit of a concern for the Guardians. His velocity is down a couple of miles an hour on a fastball. But he jumps ahead of Nimmo, 0-2 with cutter. A 5-pitch pitcher.
Stylistically, he's very similar with his repertoire to Corey Kluber, former Cleveland Cy Young Award winner as well. Backdoor cutters, sinkers. A really good slider that he can throw anytime as well. Right there tells the story. I mean, there's less four-seamers, more sliders, more cutters.
Nimmo to Hopper, and Jimenez will throw out Brandon Nimmo. First innings have been a big problem for the New York Mets. They have been outscored badly in the first inning by 32 runs, and in 19 of the last 21, the opponent has scored first. 13 straight entering game 1 today. That was a no-doubter for Ramirez. This is Lindor. McNeil is on deck. Shortstop Francisco, 230 is an average, 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. And the OPS plus just above league average. Swing and a miss there, 92. We watched game 1, Eduardo, and it felt like there was something with the release of the hand from the bat for Lindor. It almost made you feel like he might be favoring something.
It did not look like he was 100%. And you wonder if in one of the swings he tweaked something. But one thing that Francisco Lindor does really well is that he posts. He's out there every day. You know what to expect either on the offensive or defensive side of the baseball.
And Carl, I asked Lindor in between games of the doubleheader about that reaction he had. He said, I'm fine.
1-2 from Bieber. Swing and a miss there from Lindor as he goes to a knee. And a good at bat for Shane Bieber. He's got 2 up and 2 down.
Beauty of these spinning pitches, you can see he's on the side of the ball. It's right over the heart of home plate. And you can get a lot of strikeouts if you can drop a breaking ball right on top of home plate, just like that.
And again, looking at that right hand, he might say he's okay, but the last couple at bats that he's had today not looked healthy.
Bieber gets ahead with a fastball called a strike. And Merzel is the home plate umpire. It appeared to be a little bit off. Here's the next one from Bieber. That's rifled up the middle. McNeil started game 1 off with a hit. He starts game 2 off with a hit as he continues to crawl back towards a 300 batting average. Jeff McNeil will be wearing a microphone for us later this evening. We'll talk with him as Pete Alonso steps into the box, the first baseman. What a start for the Polar Bears. 17 homers, 41 runs batted in. Max Muncy, Garcia, Rafael Devers, and a whole host of others at 13. While Pete's got 17. Slow roller on the ground with 2 down. They'll go to first. Alonso retired. And Shane Bieber keeps it a 1-0 game. Underway on Sunday Night Baseball. A couple of Cy Young winners on the bump. Welcome back. 12 years, 234 days since that guy Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander started a doubleheader together for Detroit. September 29th, 2010. Young Max just throwing seeds with all sorts of filthy movement.
The old school, bow your neck and bend your back, right? That style.
And watch Verlander's last fastball on this rip after the knee buckling curveball. You didn't even see it. It's 101.
101. And Cleveland the victim again.
His starts against the Indians/Guardians more than any other team in his career. Behind 1-0 is Jimenez, Arias, and Brennan. And this one to left field. That sends Pham retreating a few steps, and then he's there to make the play. Scherzer picked up a bunch of strikeouts earlier today, and he moved further ahead of Verlander. Now 11 behind, but there they are, the two guys that have been around for so long. 12 and 13 on the all-time strikeout list.
Just 19 guys on that list of the 3,000 strikeout club, and that's an elite club.
Yeah.
I think when you get into that territory, you know, you're definitely a strong Hall of Fame candidate. We know Verlander and Scherzer will both end up there in Cooperstown.
And Coney, they should be unanimous selections, I think. We've only seen one of those, Mariano Rivera, but Verlander and Scherzer have accomplished enough where they should be unanimous.
Ripped into left field. Arias, that one's going to get down, and he is aboard.
Arias has been swinging a very good bat as of late. The last 2 starts with 2 home runs. Stayed back well on this pitch. Saw it, got the foot down, and was able to recognize it. Drill into left field.
So Arias aboard, and here is Will Brennan, another one of the young players for the Guardians. He's the right fielder. And that first pitch from Verlander way high. One home run came as he wrapped it around the pesky pole at Fenway Park, called it a dream that he's had for a long time. This one lifted to left field, and that will send Pham back. He's there for the second out of the inning. Certain ballparks you grow up as an aspiring major league player and you see and you're like, yeah, that would be a place I'd like to take that one and hit a home run there. I want to be, I'm sure for you, Coney, I want to be on that mound someday. Was there a ballpark you dreamt of?
You know, for me, it was always Fenway Park because of watching Louis Tiant in the 75 World Series when I was 12 years old. And I'll never forget that, just watching how charismatic he was on the mound. The style he had was like none other. I'd never seen anything like Louis Tiant.
Turning his back on the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes. All the mannerisms and the shakes and the shimmies. And
right now, my dad's shaking his head and saying, "Oh, that slider was nasty." Or would we call it a sweeper now?
It's a sweeper. Yeah, Louis Tiant threw a sweeper. That's for sure.
And there for a strike to the very speedy Miles Straw, the center fielder in double digits with 10 stolen bases on the season. And Francisco Alvarez does a good job of getting Verlander a strike. Arias goes, and that one is fouled back.
And this is Tito Ball here. He understands his team. He knows that Miles Straw is not a home run hitter, hasn't hit one in quite some time. Farthest ball he's hit this year went 388 feet, but it's because there are 2 outs. If Arias is caught, you can start off with speed next inning, especially with Cam Gallagher on deck.
Longest active streak in baseball without seeing one go over the wall.
If Arias gets a good jump here, 2-2 count, perfect count to go on.
Two not going, and that one misses down and away. 3-2.
Saw the slider, 87 miles per hour, down and away. Alonso will stay holding Arias at first base. Will not play behind him with 2 outs.
After his last start, Verlander suggested he wasn't hiding the ball as well as he needed to. Couple of hops to Lindor. He'll go to first. Straw can fly, and Alonso able to get it before it gets into the dirt. Verlander gets the ground ball from Miles Straw. We're in New York on a Sunday night, and it's 1-0 Guardians. Should be a good one next Sunday night. We'll be in Atlanta. The Atlanta Braves hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. Both teams winners today by a run. 7 Eastern time on ESPN unless the Nuggets and Lakers go 7. And then we'll be on ESPN2. We'll start our coverage at 6 on Baseball Tonight's Sunday Night Countdown. Doesn't feel like the Lakers and Nuggets are going to go 7. Jokic and company got a 3-0 lead over LeBron. And coming from a 3-0 deficit, hasn't been done in the NBA. But we'll see. And you see the look at the NL East standings as this one is into center field. Brett Baty. And a leadoff man aboard for the New York Mets.
Get used to it, Met fans. And Met fans have seen Brett Baty hit the ball well, middle the other way. You see where that pitch was located. It was a 92-mile-per-hour pitch on the inner half. He brings his hands beautifully inside. Doesn't try to do too much with it. And creates havoc right away as a leadoff hitter in this inning.
Sounded like he traded a bat for a hit there.
Any day.
Canha fires one to right towards the line, and it is a foul ball. Close for a guy that's making a little more contact this year in Canha. His strikeout rate, if it continues, will be the lowest of his career. Great effort. Great effort. Seems to be celebrating that his friend got it instead of him. 0-1 to Canha. This one is also fouled off as he jams him inside. 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Looked at the Mets early this season. Their production from their outfield hadn't been great. If you compare it to the Guardians, it seemed okay, but Canha and Marte were struggling earlier, and here's a double play ball. Jimenez, Arias, and they do turn it.
Beautifully done. Talk about a perfect feed right here. Jimenez to the natural position shortstop. Arias playing short over the top. Strong throw. Right to Naylor.
Classic Bieber style, too. Staying off the barrel of the bat, getting you on the ground. Roll them up.
Mark Vientos, the designated hitter tonight. Another one of those baby Mets. Alvarez, Beatty, and this guy Vientos all started the season at AAA. So, Coney, it was Fenway Park. You, of course, grew up in clubhouses. Did you have a ballpark you wanted to play in, Eduardo? You wanted to hit in?
I grew up in Riverfront Stadium where they changed the Synergy Field, the name, but to me, growing up there was magical. The first time I was able to step into the box, but I was in awe when I got into Old Yankee Stadium.
Vientos beats this one into the ground. Arias across the diamond, and a good inning for Bieber after he gives up the single to Beatty, a double play, and a Vientos ground out. You can ask Jeff McNeil a question. Use the hashtag AskSNB on Twitter. He'll join us when we come back. Back on Sunday Night Baseball, hashtag AskSNB for you at home with an opportunity to ask our second baseman, Jeff McNeil, a question tonight. He joins us now before Verlander throws the first pitch. What a moment it must have been. You had your wife and your son Lucas out on the field in between games. What was that like?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. My wife texted me before the game. I think they were supposed to run the bases, but weren't doing it today because of the doubleheader. So just brought them out. My wife, Tatiana, and he had a great time.
First pitch in there for a strike. We saw you lifting him up. How old is he that he's moving around the bases like that?
10 months. So he's moving pretty well for 10 months, and hopefully have a little athlete on our hands.
Next one to Gallagher. Swing and a miss. Speaking of athletes, You know, you were a multi-sport athlete. You were a golfer growing up. Did you aspire to be a golfer at one point in your life?
Yeah, golf was plan A. So I wanted to play college golf and everything. And play some tournaments. Didn't play too well. Didn't really have any college offers. So I started playing baseball again my senior year and had a scholarship to Long Beach State within a few weeks.
Long Beach. So how committed were you, as Cam Gallagher behind 1 and 2, to Verlander? Called strike 3. How committed were you to baseball as you were growing up versus golf? It seems like it's difficult to turn it on and then get a Division I scholarship.
Yeah, when I got to high school, I had to decide baseball or golf the same season. So our golf team was really good. So wanted to play golf, and didn't really get the kind of offers I wanted to go play in college. So picked up baseball again. I still played a lot of summer baseball. My brother was a big time prospect. He's a couple years younger than me, so was on his scout team, and that's where I ended up getting seen.
All right, so who's your favorite golfer to watch currently? That's a fan question.
Fan question? I love Tiger Woods. I think everyone loves Tiger Woods, but also love watching kind of the younger guys, Xander Schauffele. He's fun to watch. Hopefully he can win some big tournaments here pretty soon.
All right, 1-1 on the ground, and Alonso will flip it to Verlander. The fans at home kind of stuck on the whole golf thing. Maybe the PGA Championship influenced that. What's harder to do? Shoot par in golf or hit 300 in a season?
For me right now, I don't know. I mean, I play a lot of golf. I'll shoot some even pars. I'll shoot some couple unders. But baseball's tough. You got to do it for 6 months. Golf, you got to do it one time. You shoot even pars. So I'm gonna say golf. Golf right now for sure.
One of them, the ball is moving, and the other one, the ball is sitting there. 2 down, and Verlander.
Yeah, I love baseball because you can kind of hit it anywhere. Just get a good pitch. You got a nice big field here to drive the ball anywhere. And golf, you're trying to get it in a 4-inch hole, 450 yards away. So that makes it a little difficult.
0-2. What's it like? We had Lucas, who's 10 months old. You got a baby, but you're surrounded by baby Mets. What's it like seeing this transition take place for this team?
It's been fantastic. You got Beatty, Vientos, Alvarez. They're all contributing big time to this team, and it's been fun to watch them. And yeah, it's been fun to watch them, and it's going to be they're going to have tremendous careers here.
We wish you the best of luck. We are delighted you joined us. Thanks very much, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, that's Jeff McNeil joining us on Sunday Night Baseball. They love the quick innings, man. They love the quick innings. MLB.tv, 50% off for a limited time. Only stream every Art of Market game on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. Beautiful night at Citi Field, about 70 degrees. Had a chance to see 2 Hall of Fame pitchers. If you're a Met fan, you had Scherzer earlier, Verlander tonight, and here's Bieber, who has thrown first pitch strikes to 6 of the 7 he has faced. He'll get Pham, Alvarez, and then back to the top of the order, and another first pitch strike. 3 home runs, 10 RBIs for Pham, who's the left fielder tonight. The next one hard on the ground, and Bieber's making a living getting the ball on the ground. Arias throws him out. Five ground ball outs, including that 4-6-3 double play to Canha. 6 total. Francisco Alvarez, all sorts of power in this kid's bat. The catcher's got 5 homers, 11 runs batted in. And they rave about his work ethic, guys. How determined he is to be a great catcher. Watch videos during the pandemic while he was shut down of guys like Real Muto, Christian Vasquez, Sandy, Salvador Perez.
Buck Showalter says he believes in him. He thinks he's going to catch on this level for a long time. It's not just about his bat, but that is where the surplus value comes in.
Sure.
Because his potential offensively is at or near the top in either league right now. So if he's at least average defensively back there, you've got a real find for a long time.
See what Bieber does now, behind 3-1 to Alvarez. Challenged him and he sends it straight back.
That swing is for real. Tremendous bat speed.
And it's pitch selection as well, because the 2-0 pitch, it was a strike, but it was a pitcher's pitch. This one here was middle, and he was aggressive like he should have been, but he's looking in that one spot.
Check it. Yes, says the first base umpire. He's okay. He'll go down to first as Bieber issues the walk.
And a lot of young hitters, they make the mistake of, because it's a hitter's count, to go after pitches. Francisco for his right here, you could have gone either way on this one. I'll say if he made contact, it would have been probably a double down the line.
Yes.
Lance Barksdale's the crew chief down there at first base, so he gave Alvarez the benefit of the doubt, and now Nimmo.
It shows you how strong he is, though, to be able to even take a swing like that and hold it and pull it back quickly.
Wasn't it last year that Buck told us that he had muscles between his toes?
Yeah, on his toes.
On his toes.
Oh, on his toes.
Yeah. Nimmo went yard in game 1 in the 0-1.
Oh, he swing.
He did not check his swing. Jose Navas is your third base umpire tonight. And pay it off, Will Little is the second base umpire. Buck Showalter was telling us about Lindor guys earlier and how he posts, and you guys mentioned that already. Injured or not feeling well, he's gonna play. Said they learned that about Nimmo too last year. Like, that's a big, what he calls sixth tool in a player, the ability to show up and play every day. Good block that time by Gallagher behind the plate.
And I've heard it all the time for years. You know, we worked also with Rick Sutcliffe, a great partner, and he always said the best asset for a lot of players is availability. And that's what he was talking about, being able to post, go out there and be accountable. Be accountable for your teammates, and he was able to do that last year.
2-2. I think what Sut said was the best ability is availability.
Yeah. But he's the poet. I'm not.
You got a 2-2 count, and Alvarez off first. Inside, 3-2. So Sut last couple weeks in San Diego. He was there with his grandson and some buddies. Padres got a win today. They hammered the Red Sox and Corey Kluber. 3-2. And Nimmo on a line just past the arm of Arias. A hard hit shot by Brandon Nimmo at 101 off the bat, and that's what allowed it to get by Arias.
Hit him where they ain't. Hit it right on the barrel, and look at this angle here. Beautifully placed, just out of his reach. Now you have runners at first and second for Francisco Lindor.
Struck out on 4 pitches. He had 3 swings and misses in his first at bat. He hits this one, but he pulls it foul. So 6 years with the Guardians, 3rd year with the Mets, and obviously huge numbers in Cleveland. It's funny, a lot of folks will look at his production this year and say it's a little down, and Buck Showalter almost takes offense when somebody says that about Lindor. That one was fouled off at the plate. What do you make of the season Lindor's having?
And I understand where the fans, they want to see the numbers that we just saw right there with when he was with Cleveland. I think the pressure is different. The expectations are different as well. And what he's done also on the defensive side of the ball is excellent.
Rolls this one into the hole. Naylor fields. Good play by Bieber to get over there, but both runners will move up. So 2 down, second and third as Alvarez goes to third and Nimmo is at second.
I thought it was interesting, Lindor, after the game-winning hit the other night, his post-game interview was talking about the fans, thanking them for staying with him, clearly feeling it here in New York, wanting to be the guy.
That's a good point.
Wanting to live up to the contract. And, he said it 3 or 4 times on the field in his post-game interview, thanking the fans for staying with him.
Really good play by Naylor to come off the bag and make a difficult throw look pretty easy. Now McNeil.
And if you're a right-handed first baseman, most likely you go to second with that. As a left-handed first baseman, he saw where Nimmo was, maybe in the way of the throw, opted to get the short out knowing that Bieber was going to be there.
Contact hitter. Lays off the Bieber. Curveball. 1-1. Good pitch, boy. Bieber right underneath the bat path of McNeil to get ahead 1-2, and then a pretty good play on the ball that was nearly thrown away.
See Bieber's style. He's kind of mastering pitches that look like strikes and end up like balls, and pitches that look like balls and end up like strikes with the movement that he has.
One and two. Alvarez at third, Nimmo at second. Got McNeil swinging some filth there from Shane Bieber. The last 2 pitches, McNeil down and in, and he went over. Justin Verlander back to the bump. Jose Ramirez to the batter's box. Right now it's Ramirez 1, Verlander nothing.
Back here at Citi Field with Mets manager Buck Showalter. Buck, we just saw you talking with the home plate umpire. What was that about?
Oh, we've had a couple of resets. It's tough. He's just trying to be fair. Both of them requested something. It's like advantage, disadvantage. You're trying to let the players decide the game instead of the clock, but everybody seems to like it, especially you guys, right?
What are you seeing Justin Verlander tonight?
No, you got 2 great pitchers, 2 good pitchers, and every once in a while you find yourself spectating. It's fun to watch 2 guys perform at this level. It's a good club over there that we were fortunate to beat in the first game, but long day at the yard.
Thanks, Buck. Carl, back to you.
All right, Buster, thank you. Fun to watch a guy like Verlander compete against somebody who's so great at the plate, and Jose Ramirez. All right, Coney, you play Verlander. You're ahead 0-2, now 1-2. What's your approach against this guy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to get him to swing at a pitcher's pitch. We just saw that slider, that back leg slider. Ramirez is so quick in. If you leave anything on the plate on the inner half, he's going to take a good lash at it. The thing about Ramirez, I mean, you take a quick look at his career, he's 30 years old now. He's already accumulated 41.6 WAR, according to Baseball Reference. 4-time All-Star. He's had MVP votes in 6 different years. I mean, I said before, this is a superstar.
Long-term deal with the Guardians. Now Verlander 2-2.
All out.
Ramirez holds up. Similar pitch that McNeil swung over twice. Ramirez holds up on, and now we go full.
It's a great effort by Verlander and a great take by Ramirez right there. That's where you want to attack him. Bad down and in. See if he can swing over the top of it.
Gets him to hit it on the ground to Alonso, and Verlander over to the bag, 1 down.
And this is an angle that you have to appreciate. See him take a couple shuffle steps towards his right. Justin Verlander having to get to first. Then now taking his time to get back on the mound, but the clock is ticking. It's at 15 currently.
For Josh Naylor, grounded out to second his first time up.
And I think, Tony, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I think this is one of the most difficult parts of being a pitcher when you have to cover first, is now you have to be aware of the time clock. Usually you have the third baseman or shortstop come into the mound, have you help you catch your breath until you make the next pitch. Things have changed.
You can see Verlander breathing.
Yeah, the only remedy you have as a pitcher is a mound visit. It's to waste a mound visit to try to get some extra rest. Hitters have that one timeout they can call per at bat, not the pitcher. You have disengagements with men on base, but you have to use a mound visit to call a timeout.
It's a great point. It's been brought up by some managers and coaches. Whether you're covering or a catcher makes the last out, they give you a little leniency on getting your equipment back on and the clock. But the clock, you heard Buck Showalter reference it. I mean, it's ever present. Verlander begins his delivery with 2 seconds left on it and misses inside.
Oh, it's a game changer. It's a dinner changer. It's every kind of changer at home because you get home earlier. I mean, it is a big time adjustment for the pitchers.
I would venture to say too that the majority of teams end games, the end of games, with mound visits remaining. So they're not using them all. There is a little bit of, surplus there to be able to use a mound visit here and there if you feel like you need a break.
Call strike 3. Naylor didn't take the bat off his shoulder. Second strikeout of the night for Verlander.
Verlander is very similar to Nolan Ryan in that Nolan used to get stronger as the game goes on. When you find your rhythm, you find your fastball. He still pitches off his fastball, starting to get it going, even though that's 94. He's got more in the tank. It's more about life with Verlander.
Get that Gary Coleman look right there. What you talking about, Willis? Looking back, you'll go back and you'll see that that was a strike, and it's because he throws the ball from a high release point, like you had said earlier, that it would appear to be lower, and it's not.
It's not only a high release point, it's that stiff front leg too, the way he lands and posts up with kind of a stiff front leg, but what that does is brace him to generate arm speed too from that high release point. There's really nobody that throws the ball like he does.
2-0, Jimenez. That's a strike. 2-1. We'll talk about the 3 Cy Young Awards. 6 times he finished in the top 5, and twice he was second. Some believe in the year that he finished second, he should have won. Jimenez pulls that foul. If you know you're facing a lineup like the Guardians in this era and they don't hit the ball over the wall, do you take a different approach to the mound?
I think so. You definitely do. And you're looking at coming at you right into your living room. You're seeing that release, and watch the front leg, the way it lands, the extension, and how stiff it is.
And Jimenez puts this one up in the air into right, and that's an easy one for Canha. Verlander's retired 8 in a row. We'll see Alonso, Beatty, and Canha when we come back. Bottom 4 on Sunday Night Baseball coming up.
Back here at Citi Field, speaking with Cleveland manager Terry Francona. Jose Ramirez with a first-inning home run. It's no secret he gets pitched around quite a bit. Within that context, how has he evolved as a hitter?
I don't know if people realize how smart he is, because like you alluded to, they pitch around him a lot. He may get one pitch in that bat. There's a lot of times he doesn't miss it, thankfully for us.
What are you seeing so far tonight in Shane Bieber?
You know, he looks like Bieber. He's spinning the ball. He cuts it. When he needs a strikeout like he did last inning, he can go get it. He just knows how to pitch.
Terry, thanks. Back to you.
All right, Buster, thank. So 11 of the 13 guys he's faced, he's gotten ahead with first pitch strikes, and now he's ahead of Alonso as we begin the bottom of the 4th. And this ball is hammered to left. coming in, now going back, Kwan. He's at the track, and he's there to make the play. It hung up there forever. A Ray Guy type swing and result from Alonso, but it's an out.
Bieber knows he left a breaking ball up, Eduardo, and right there you're wondering if you're going to get it back as he's just digging on Alonso. Because Pete kind of lets you know when he thinks he got it. He kind of grabs the barrel of the bat. See right there, got to finish that slider. Left it up a bit, got away with it.
105 off the bat.
Here is Brett Baty, singled his first time up, and another first pitch strike from Shane Bieber. Just go back to that point that Buster made with Francona. This is a team that has the fewest home runs and yet the most intentional walks, 15 of them, and 9 of those have been to Jose Ramirez. You don't generally see like few home runs and most intentional walks, but that's the Guardians of 2023 so far.
Well, one thing the Guardians have to do is Andres Gimenez has to hit.
Yes.
Last year he absolutely raked. They signed him to a multi-year deal extension because of that. And this year he has been out front, has not been able to generate that pop that he had last year, and has to do a lot with confidence. He feeds off that confidence.
297, 371, 466 with an OPS plus of 141 for Jimenez last year, and that's a filthy pitch. And Baty is gone, and Bieber just continues to spin them away.
You're a left-handed hitter. You have to keep that in your back pocket, thinking about how Bieber is getting you out. Did the same thing to McNeil, and he repeats tight slider down and in at 86 to Brett Baty.
And here is Canha, as important as Jimenez is with this staff. And there are guys coming back. McKenzie, Savale. They've got some young pitchers on the staff. Bybee pitched earlier today and pitched pretty decently. This guy is a key to their success on the mound. They need him to be that ace and win the games he starts.
They're almost legendary for how they develop pitchers in the Cleveland organization. You can look around the big leagues, and there's several pitching coaches that were groomed in the Cleveland system, and you can see over the years Bieber's K rate kind of dropping as he relies more on soft contact.
Well, that's pretty good contact. Canha is aboard. 2 out single into left for Canha. Another one that's 100 miles an hour off the bat. Bieber left that one up. He got away with one to Alonso, but not there to Canha. And here comes Vientos, the DH. .27 years young. He's got a year left as Bieber. There are some who believe that this may be the time, the season, to move him so another team will get 2 years out of him. I saw that with Juan Soto last year. You want to get 2 years out of it, out of a guy that you don't know if you're going to eventually sign again.
They've been pretty good with reading that market and getting the good pieces back with Jimenez and Rosario for Lindor.
And Rabbi, look, the other teams tell me that Cleveland's always in listening mode, but if they have a chance to win, the perception of that front office is they're not going to trade a star in season. Comes down to where they are in the standings.
On the ground, ranging to his left, Ramirez will go to second, and that's where the third out will be made. Vientos grounds out to Jose Ramirez. Bieber doing a good job. Mets got 4 hits. Been pretty quiet. 1-0 Cleveland through 4. Take a look at the Jumbotron. It's huge as we remind everybody that Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN is presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by the new series, A Small Light. Series finale tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, National Geographic, and now streaming on Hulu and Disney+. I mean, it is so big, you cannot see the top of it from where we sit. We're cut off by the overhang. You can't see the top.
It's huge.
I thought we started with bigger isn't always better, but as video boards go, it's massive. This ball to center. Verlander, 1 pitch, Look out, it looked like Nimmo. Boy, he's having a hard time. We saw that on the first one, and we see it here, finding the baseball.
Yeah, but it's this time of night. We saw Stephen Kwan do the same thing at the end, putting his hands down, saying, where is it, for a second. And it's once it goes over the upper deck area, you lose it right there, and then he picks it up. And usually you say don't panic. He panicked right there. Right there. You see the jelly leg? Oof. That's a bad feeling for an outfielder.
It's worse when it drops or hits you. He made the play.
Outside.
8:12 in the evening, difficult lighting?
This time of year, yes.
Yeah. We're not going equinox or any of that, are we, again?
No, we're not going there.
Solstice, none of that.
Not touching it.
Ha! Cody, what are we looking at here? This guy's 40 years old on the mound.
And still pitching off his fastball, too. I mean, that really is.
How unique, how unicornish is this?
It's, as we said, it's like his idol. Nolan Ryan did that until his mid-40s, and that's who he's modeling it after. He wants to keep pitching until his mid-40s, similar to his idol, Nolan Ryan. 65% strike rate and almost 55% fastball, still throwing his heater.
Brennan hits this one, Nimmo. He seems to have a beat on it. He is going back and just short of the track. He saw that one the whole way. 2 down, 10 in a row retired by Verlander.
Great things happen when good friends get together. So grab a glass, amigo. Our tequila is your tequila. Our casa is your casa.
2 down. Quickly, Miles Straw looks at strike 1. Pitching clinic by both Verlander and Bieber as far as getting ahead. And there is the Rocket, 43 years young, an ERA of 1.87. Verlander, and this is the oldest pitcher to lead baseball in ERA. Verlander coming off that incredible year, and he may have a 1-2-3 inning if Lindor. Short hop, no. Good speed by Straw down the line. It's an infield hit from Miles Straw.
Gets down the line so well. Even on a perfect throw on the line, Miles would have beat it. Got a running start on the swing. Down and away. That's part of his game, and Francisco knew it.
Straw in double figures with 10 stolen bases already. Look to get into scoring position as Gallagher looks at ball 1.
Huge infield hit as well, because now you get Cam Gallagher out of the way. This inning, Miles Straw, the only way he could and should steal second is if he knows 100% he's going to be safe. There's no reason to get picked off. You stay right there as Stephen Kwan is on deck, and Cam Gallagher has had his issues offensively this year as he's hitting 104.
Score 87 on a test, you're doing okay. That's their success rate in stolen bases, as that's in there for a strike. Game 1, Doug Glanville, Tim Kirkshin, anybody that loves base running, we're not having a good day because there was some incredibly bad base running decisions in game 1. Marte got picked off first while he was seemingly falling asleep. Saw runners going to second and third on balls that made no sense. As Verlander now has conceded, he's thrown over twice. So with this disengagement rule, he can do it one more time. But if he doesn't get Straw, then he will advance to second base. Boy, you're chasing high cheese there at 94, way out of the zone. And Gallagher does Verlander a favor.
Straw's not going just because of the hitter that's in the box right now.
Popped up. Alvarez went down, so Verlander gives way to Alonso. But Alvarez just fell right down. So he was out of the play as far as somebody that can catch it. And it's the Polar Bears. You take a look at Francisco Alvarez down because of that. Ouch. Went to break, seeing Francisco Alvarez take a bat to the side of his mask. He's okay. He's in the on-deck circle as Tommy Pham looks at strike 1 from Bieber. Bottom 5, 1-0 Guardians. First run, and the only run came on a home run from Jose Ramirez, his 6th of the year in the first inning. Verlander and Bieber have been on point until that pitch. It's catcher on catcher prime right there. I mean, Gallagher's a catcher, and you could see he was upset about it right away.
It looked like Gallagher was upset for the pop-up, but just kind of let go of the bat.
Two balls and a strike. And ooh, nice play, Bieber, and a hard hit ball by Pham. How hard? 107 miles an hour. Put yourself on the mound with a rocket like that, and Shane Bieber ready to field his position. Tommy Pham is known to get close to triple digits when it comes to average exit velocity. Ooh.
Excellent defense there. This year we've had so many pitchers get hit on comebackers.
That was StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And here's another guy that can hit it hard, Francisco Alvarez. Bieber goes off speed to get ahead, 0-1. Well, both Omar Narvaez and Tomas Nido are going to be back at some point. It feels like close to May, close to the end of the month, maybe beginning of June, and then they're going to have a log jam behind the plate here at Citi Field. So Billy Epler and Buck Showalter figure out what to do now that Alvarez is getting some regular time behind the plate. Oh, no. Any thoughts on that, Buster? What the Mets might be inclined to do?
Yeah, they want to keep Alvarez catching on a regular basis, and if they get the 2 veterans back, those are 2 veterans that they have a lot invested in. Maybe Alvarez goes back to the minor leagues. But you guys have seen the development of Alvarez as a catcher, especially the way that he's presenting pitches for umpires. Something the Met staff really happy about.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Alvarez, the 9-hole hitter, and he pops this one up. Naylor going over into foul territory, right in front of the Mets dugout. Makes the play. Big smile on Naylor's face. His brother, by the way, Bo Naylor, up with the team right now. You can suit up this year. MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your favorite team at MLBshop.com. Back to the top of the order, and the former kid growing up dealing with the rodeo and his whole family, and it was a rite of passage for him. And once he got bucked, he said, I'm done with that. Dad had a big barn. He built him a batting cage there, and Brandon Nimmo became a superstar baseball player. How?
Nimmo just gets a lot of good at-bats. You know, he's got a high on-base percentage coming into this game. Sees a lot of pitches, over 4 pitches per plate appearance. He's just really developed into the player he is today. And it's been a learning curve. Buck Showalter talked about it last year. That this kid's ceiling is off the charts. And he's still kind of learning who he is as a baseball player.
Bieber got a hit 0-2, and the last couple of breaking pitches have come up well short.
Those were on purpose. This guy's been in control the entire game.
He has.
3 of the 19 hitters he's faced in this game started him off with the ball 1. The rest, it's just been dominant ahead in the count the entire time.
2-2, here he comes, and Nimmo hits it hard, and boy, in a non-shift environment, Jose Ramirez could not have been in a better place. Another hard hit ball over 100, but right into the glove of the third baseman. And Bieber has painted a masterpiece so far. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Buster Olney, Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Carl Ravitch. Verlander and Bieber have been outstanding. Were it not for the Jose Ramirez home run, we'd have zeros on the board, but it's 1-0 Guardians as we head to the 6th inning on a Sunday night. And the leadoff hitter is the leadoff man, Stephen Kwan. Juan Rosario and Jose Ramirez.
I think this could be the biggest test right now for Justin Verlander here in the top of the 6th inning. Reason being, you have the top of the order, 3rd time now through this lineup. And when you get Ramirez up for a 3rd time seeing Verlander, it's a game changer.
Our game track is brought to you by Geico. There are the numbers for the 2 pitchers. And 0-2, Kwan pops it up on the infield. And now chasing it down is Beatty, and there's 1 away.
Justin Verlander wants nothing to do with pop-ups, and I love it.
He actually tried to call the one the last inning before Pete Alonso chased him out.
I don't blame him either. Get out of there.
I mean, general rule of thumb is keep the pitcher out of all defensive plays if you can, unless you're Jim Codd or Greg Maddux or somebody of that ilk.
Coney, I thought you were going to say general rule of thumb, if Pete Alonso calls for a pop-up, you get the heck out of the way.
That too, yes. Get run over by a polar bear.
0-1 to Rosario.
Yes, you did.
He'll look down to the first base umpire. And he said 0-2. So numbers-wise, you look at this Guardian offense, and they are a weighted runs created plus coming into today of 77. So on Fangraphs, that's below Detroit, Colorado, Kansas City, and Cincinnati, the bottom 5. That's why Francona said it's every night feels like a playoff game, and the margin for error is so reduced. And even his point about our base stealing numbers, which are really good, imagine if we actually got on base and hit the ball. Perhaps, Buster, that that lends itself to an acceleration of conversations around Bieber.
I don't know. I do. I mean, look, it's stating the obvious is that as Cleveland moves forward, they need to find a way to get more power for their lineup.
Rosario's gone. Strikeout for Verlander. Number 3 tonight. Well, we're back with the best coverage in today's game, so we'll look at Jose Ramirez's home run for the T-Mobile Multiview.
You knew it. No doubter.
Closing in on 200 career home runs, too. That was 197 in Ramirez's career.
How does he pitch him? He goes with a fastball above the zone at 95, 1-0. Verlander has kept the leadoff man off every inning. And Jose pops this one up on the infield. Alvarez, he's there. Beatty calls it. Oh, in and out of the glove. Alvarez stopped. Beatty slid, and it went in and out of his glove. And an extra life for Jose Ramirez.
And Beatty was coming in hard, and he called for it, and that's why Alvarez got out of the way. See Alvarez right there going for it. Listen up. Alvarez did the right thing. Beatty takes over on that play, but because he's playing more towards the shortstop area, isn't able to make that play.
Really good pitch from Verlander to get ahead of Ramirez, 1-2.
Love the reaction by Ramirez, pumping his fist. And then in the other end, you have Justin Verlander sort of scratching his bill, the cap, saying, okay, what do I do next?
Nearly got him. Ramirez will stay there. Cleveland tonight 0 for 11 with 2 strikes. Hold on the ground hard. Alonso bobbles for a second. Verlander made sure he was there long before Ramirez was. And for the second time tonight, Ramirez grounds out to Alonso. He'll bat third when we come back to Citi Field on a Sunday night. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by Mass Mutual. Talk to us today, feel comfortable about tomorrow. Probably have Casamigos inside the Speakeasy, which is located in right field here at Citi Field, the Cadillac Club at Payson's. And you can buy season tickets. There you go, 25 grand will get you a season ticket. I think like rows 3 and 4, about 19 grand for the year.
Still available?
I believe rows 3 and 4, you can get some seats there.
You get a bottle of Casamigos with that deal. I mean, at a minimum, right?
Will George be there? C.K. Clooney?
Yeah, there you go.
Get a few more people buying it if he was going to be sitting out there. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and Lindor behind 0-1. Bieber delivers, and Francisco 0-2. Buster and Eduardo both picked up on it. So the inning ends, and Lindor's leading off. So he basically gave his glove and everything else to Tommy Pham and said, here, you take this to the dugout. I got to get ready to hit because this clock is keeping everything moving. It's just another small, subtle difference in how the game has changed for the players in 2023.
And then the bat boy also then taking his stuff and putting it right on the on-deck circle. Helmet, glove, everybody has a role here. You gotta have your A game.
Lindor, deep center field. Straw, back, wall, over the wall. Francisco Lindor. An opposite field home run, and the Mets continue their late inning comebacks. They have tied this game up at 1 on Lindor's 7th of the year.
So really cool. Left side of the infield for Cleveland for many years was Ramirez and Lindor. As Lindor's rounding second, headed towards third, they exchange smiles and probably something said. Francisco Lindor ties this game up and has become a guardian killer this weekend.
Nice catch by the fan, too. Out there.
Was.
Wasn't a bad pitch. Breaking ball down and away. Lindor drives it out to left center.
How's the wrist now? Pretty good.
That was not a hanger. He had to go down and dig that out.
The Mets bats have come alive when it comes to the long ball, as you saw that graphic there. 13 in their last 6. They had none in their previous 5.
To hit a knuckle curve ball that far that way, opposite field over that National Car Rental sign, pretty impressive.
And all of a sudden, after the home run, Bieber, who's made a living tonight getting ahead, is behind McNeil 3-0.
That's what home runs will do. They'll chase you out of the strike zone.
3-1, and just going back to the point you guys are making. So that's a team home run. That's Pham who gets some credit. That's the bat boy who gets some credit.
Everyone, let's go. I mean, Bud Showalter said it to us in spring training. Things are going to have to change. Curveball uses his legs beautifully to go get that baseball and hit it opposite field. And right here, tú sabes, papi, tú sabes. A lot of love between those two.
And Bieber now ball 1 to the dangerous Pete Alonso. Alonso to left field. This one may stay in as Kwan puts his arm up And that's another one by Alonso, caught at the track, heading to second, and there's a base running mistake. Jeff McNeil thrown out by Kwan as he tried to tag up on the Alonso fly out to left. Good play by Kwan, bad base running by McNeil.
Yeah, Stephen Kwan's in the 72nd percentile when it comes to arm strength. And one thing that Stephen Kwan and Myles Straw do really well is get behind the baseball. And that's exactly what he did right there, propelling him towards second base. Beautifully done.
I think the flying squirrel overdid it there a little bit, Carl. Trying to be aggressive, trying to get in scoring position.
Sure. But the result said, yeah,
Yeah.
leave that nut alone. Swing and a miss from Beatty on a good slider there. Cutter from Bieber. Alonso's been close twice tonight.
He just missed two times. You are right. Watching Pete Alonso this year, the start he's gotten off to, and you think, you know, he just missed 2 tonight. Feels like maybe seeing Aaron Judge hit 62 last year. Got something to shoot for.
Yeah, Beatty sends it the other way, and Kwan with a good read makes the play. So Stephen Kwan helps bail out Bieber there with a catch, and then a double play as McNeil gets nailed. But Lindor lives off. A little more than serving it to left. It went into the glove of a Met fan. And we got ourselves a new ball game on Sunday Night Baseball. Mets won, Guardians won. We're playing ball. Top of the 7th inning. Guardians won, Mets won. The former teammates in Cleveland for so long. And the left side of the infield, Lindor and Ramirez each with a home run. Perhaps the squirrel affected second base on that slide there as they're working on it. The grounds crew adjusting second base, putting it back in the ground. You can listen to every MLB game live or on demand with At Bat, plus watch all minor league baseball and live look-ins on MLB Big Inning. Visit MLB.com/atbat for details. My buddy Todd Parnell, who runs the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Happy to hear you say Flying Squirrels on Sunday Night Baseball.
I've been waiting all night to say it, too.
Got a chance to do it. Verlander back out there in the 7th, and it's Naylor, and then Jimenez and Arias. 81 pitches so far for the 40-year-old righty. Off speed, and that's a beautiful one. That gets the benefit of the call at the top of the zone.
See, now he knows that he has that fastball up to play with if he wants to get Naylor to chase.
What?
You know, when you try to put his career into perspective, and we see tonight, 6 innings pitched, just the earned run. One way to do it is not just Cy Young awards that you've won. We know he's won 3, but it's the shares. How many votes you've gotten? According to Baseball Reference, the 3rd most all time, Justin Verlander.
Naylor jammed on that one. And there's one down.
Think about that list. Roger Clemens is first on that list, Randy Johnson, and this guy.
Wow.
And after the first mistake, I don't know if that's a mistake. I mean, that's just that's a great hitter that beat him to the spot. He's still pitching off his fastball. Up, hitting the corners away when he needs to. The lefties burying it. He's not going to deviate from what he does best, and that's that 4-seam fastball. Sets up everything.
And the breaking pitch in there for a strike. The other thing the Mets have done this year for their pitchers, they've improved their defense behind them. Last year, they ranked 27th in percent of ground balls turned in outs. This year, they're 5th, which is comforting for the guy on the mound.
Just to finish that list of Cy Young Award shares, according to Baseball Reference, I mentioned Rocket, Randy Johnson, Justin Verlander. 4th is Greg Maddux. 5th is his teammate, Max Scherzer. That's all time, history of the game. How many Cy Young Award votes you got?
All over your swing.
Check at third, said no, he didn't go. So Jimenez will stay alive at the plate. You take a look at that check swing.
He held up there.
Pretty incredible list, Coney. And on a day when both of those guys are on the mound, you have to feel like you've got as good a chance to sweep a doubleheader as you ever will. And Verlander picks up another strikeout, his fourth. Jimenez is gone.
There are still a few good ideas left in the world. Ours was to make our own tequila. Grab a glass, amigo. Our casa is your casa.
Verlander, of course, was an Old Dominion guy, and he grew up, and he acknowledges when he was young, he threw it harder than most of the kids, but he didn't know where it was going. And the parents of the kids that were on the teams that he faced, and even the kids, I mean, he said there were times where he'd look in the on-deck circle and a youngster was crying because he didn't want to go up there where that guy didn't know where it was going and get plunked in the ribs.
Oh no, Lance!
He has since harnessed that.
There were a lot of pitching coaches that tried to break him down, like Tom Seaver, and break down that front leg. And we mentioned that's not his style, his body type. And actually, the way he firmly plants that front leg generates speed for his arm. There's lots of different ways to do it. When you think about stylistically, him and Max Scherzer are at opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of the release point. Verlander right over the top, Max Scherzer closer to third base. A lot of different ways to pitch.
Getting stronger is Verlander. 95, top of the zone. 2 punch-outs in the 7th inning. He's got 5 in the game, and he's rolling. Really good pitchers duel tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. Back on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. It's presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Well, Buck Showalter talks about the 6th tool, the ability to play. Nimmo last year, Lindor over his entire career. And even when he looks like he's not 100%, Buster, he delivers the big blow tonight.
Francisco, you guys have had all these comebacks this week. What's it meant for you guys?
It has meant a lot. It has given us a lot of energy. We continue to bond. Every time you win, your bond gets stronger and stronger as a team. And, you know, we count on each other, we believe in each other, and it has been someone different every night, so it's been fun.
All right, so our cameras caught you exchanging glances with Jose after your home run, your longtime teammate in Cleveland. What's that about? What's the background?
It's about cleats. The first game, I looked at his cleat, and he saw mine, and I asked him what cleats he was going to wear the second game, and he said green. I'm like, all right, I want to wear green the next game. And as soon as he hit his home run, he looked at his cleats when he was running around the bases, so I did the same thing. So I did the same thing. I looked at my cleats. I'm like, yeah, we got good cleats today.
Francisco, thanks.
So it is about the shoes.
It is. I mean, that's a big deal for these guys. Wear different shoes every day. I used to wear the same pair all year long, Eduardo. Maybe 2 pairs.
Canna jammed center field, Straw. And an easy out. Bieber continues to get the job done.
2 the entire season?
Yeah. The big old rubber pitching toe on. Used to drag my foot on my bunion.
I'm glad you own the bunion.
Did.
And the nation is glad that you shared that.
Tough toe. Now that guy's got boxes upon boxes of shoes. Hey, more power to him. Opened up the colors too. I think that's the key.
Yeah. Vientos now. What did you call your? Was it cleats? Was it spikes? Was it nails? Spikes.
Football players wear cleats. Baseball players wear spikes. Nails.
Nails, I've heard.
Never heard nails.
Come out.
Oh, you really?
No. Spikes and ganchos in Spanish.
There's a timeout called by the hitter Vientos. We've seen that a lot more often with 2 strikes. Catch your breath. Fouls that one off. Good to see Lindor smiling too, and Buster asked him that question. You know, just the mention of a guy's name can light up a face, and it did there. Vientos retired. Shane Bieber. He's pitching deep into this game. Bottom of the 7th, 91 pitches and 2 down.
all night long. He's had this slider that is a strike for a lot of the way to home plate. Looks like a strike for a long time. At the last minute, it's not.
Four strikeouts. Tommy Pham on the ground. How about Bieber? So economical. They have a couple of starters take us into the 8th inning tonight. 1-1. That's where we're headed next. Verlander coming back out.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, part of the dream scenario was to have Scherzer pitch and then Verlander pitch. We've seen that play out, and earlier Cody had a chance to ask Max about Verlander.
You know, I've had some teammates I've bumped heads with over the years. David Wells comes to mind, you know, big lefty for the Yankees. We end up becoming good friends, you know, and, after initial little friction there. I know you and Justin have a long time together, and now coming to the Mets. I mean, were you part of the recruiting process, or how has your relationship evolved over the years?
Yeah, you know, at this point in time, we're just at a different point in our lives. Like you have kids, family, just everything's different, and it's been a much easier transition, I'd say, than anything. And so we've been, we each kind of been on our separate ways, and with him in Houston and me in DC, I feel like the game has really evolved over the past kind of 7-8 years, and so it's been fun picking his mind of the different catchers he's thrown to, different pitching coaches and philosophies there in Houston, and combine that with kind of my experiences where I've been, and really kind of comparing notes of what we're seeing from hitters, how we're preparing, certain numbers we're looking at, and so it's been a real good process of learning. You never stop learning in this game, and so you continue to learn about different things and what guys see and how to attack hitters in a different way.
After a fly out from Brennan into foul territory, Straw fouls one off there. It's part of a longer conversation. What was your takeaway from dealing with him?
That he's just an ultimate gamer. He is not concerned about his strikeout numbers career-wise, his legacy. He kind of avoids all talk about that. He's about championships.
Straw can fly. Lindor fires this time, and he gets Miles Straw. Remember Straw with the infield hit last time that Lindor threw over to Alonso, and Straw was able to beat it, but not here. And they were 2 down in the 8th.
Yeah, pretty much almost the same play as last time, except this time it did not bounce twice and a third time. And because of it, Francisco Lindor understands the velo of Straw, makes a strong throw over to Pete at first.
And now Cam Gallagher. And this ball is hit to right field. It's playable for Canha. Both managers have to be delighted. Short bullpens after a game 1 played earlier today, and both Bieber and Verlander have been outstanding. Take a look at that two-headed monster too. Scherzer and Verlander are getting it done at Citi Field. 1-1, bottom 8 coming up. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN is presented by Casamigos Tequila, brought to you by those who drink it. Citi Field, and what a game we've had tonight. Guardians and the Mets. Justin Verlander appears to be getting congratulations, and the word from Buck Showalter, his night is done. Bieber back on the mound here in the bottom of the 8th. He gets Francisco Alvarez, and then back to the top of the order, Nimmo and Lindor. Saying going to break, both of these managers know that their bullpens have been used, taxed. Certainly the case with the Mets. And that ball is over the glove of Jimenez. Alvarez leads off the bottom of the 8th with a bloop single into right.
8th inning, Carl, and Francisco Lindor said it best when it creates a bond and a belief in your team when you start coming back in games. He hits the home run to tie it, and the 8th inning has been magic this week for the New York Mets.
See Alvarez gaining confidence by the day.
Without question. Wayne Kirby's over there. Alvarez got his helmet in his hands, and we're wondering perhaps the Mets will go with a pinch runner for Francisco Alvarez, and here comes Starling Marte. The hero from game 1 with his 2-run home run. Mets won that game 5-4 after trailing 4-3 late.
Wonder with how long he took to get out of the dugout, if he was prepared and he knew that eventually he was going to be running.
I can give you an answer on that in a second, Eduardo.
Bieber to Nimmo. Marte not going anywhere, and the first pitch misses in.
So he was at the end of the Mets dugout, sitting in a chair, talking with Eduardo Escobar. Alvarez got the hit, and then Marte jogged down, pulled on the helmet, pulled on that mitt. He was ready to go.
12 stolen bases on the season. The 8th inning has been the magic inning for the Mets, and they throw over Marte back. He got picked off earlier today.
So it wasn't exactly like Kevin Mitchell in 1986 during Game 6 where you had to run up to the clubhouse and grab him. Nope. Hey, we need you. The 86 Mets are the gift that just keeps on giving, Carl.
There's a whole book about them.
Yeah, there is. There should be another one.
With a sequel.
Bieber holds the ball. Nimmo sky high. Jimenez. And they get Nimmo to pop out. So Bieber in the 8th inning. Verlander's night's done. It looks like Nick Sandlin is warming in that Guardians bullpen. And the Mets will get action as well in their bullpen. Brooks Raley, who did pitch in the first game. The Mets have a day off tomorrow.
Brooks Raley, right? Sounds like a country singer. He should have a hit.
Lindor, a homer in the 6th. Go back to Marte, and he dives in safely.
15-second hold.
Francona's looking at his replay guy to see if we need to have a look at that, and he says nope. '97th pitch of the night for Bieber. Marte not going, second throw over, and now out of disengagements is Bieber with regards to Marte.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now to see how Tito Francona plays this with the throwovers. Love the fact how Naylor lets the ball travel deep into it and just places a tag down. Doesn't have to chase.
Quick move, quick feet.
They're going to check this one.
Yes. Definitely going to challenge it. I mean, that's one of the quicker right-handed moves you'll see. The quick feet and the quick release. Throw on the money. Quick tag.
Cleveland is challenging a safe call at first base.
That's the advantage that left-handed first basemen have. They can allow that ball to travel as he did right there. This is going to be interesting.
Absolutely. That's
Carl,
a great
you said
point.
it earlier. He got picked off in game 1 today, this afternoon. This right here, see where his right foot is, right in the middle of the bag? You can't really tell from this angle, but to me, he's out right there.
Your point about the left-handed first baseman is right on target, Eduardo. Keith Hernandez, great Mets left-handed first baseman, was really good at that, waiting the ball, letting the ball travel. The ball travels quicker than you can grab it and tag with it, so less movement with your glove, the better.
It's a hard one because that foot of Naylor's is in the way of the yellow mitt of Marte, whether it gets to the bag or not when that glove is applied to the shoulder. Coney's up here. He says he's out. What do you think, Eduardo?
Les, that's the only angle that they have. They showed a different one on the field.
Safe.
You have to call it safe. Lucked out. And it's really interesting because you look at Alvarez, he's in the 41st percentile, according to StatCast, when it comes to sprint speed. This year, Marte, who's usually in the top percentiles because of the double hernia surgery, has not really run as well. He's in the 43rd percentile.
Bieber is out of disengagements. Marte's not going, and that ball is poked down the line, but it's pulled foul off the bat of Lindor. Francisco Lindor already with a home run tonight to tie it, but he was the hero on Friday night, and it wasn't one that went over the wall, but it was a game winner. That was the game that Alonso hit the grand slam. So they won at 10-9. Marte going, he slipped, check swing, that gets into the outfield. Lindor, an excuse me single. Arias seemed like he was headed to second to cover. It opened up the space, and now the Mets have first and third.
And there's something wrong with Starling Marte at third base. He almost fell coming out of the gate when he was trying to steal, and Joey Cora is actually calling over now. Marte says he's okay, but right there, does not run hard, doesn't need to at that point, but pulls up lane.
Everything went right for the Mets on that play. Lindor almost checked his swing, and now McNeil is up. The Guardians on the corners are in the middle infield halfway. For his pitch, strike one to McNeil.
Well, you called it, Carl. The difference between a double play ball and first and third and one out was the fact that Marte was in motion, and both middle infielders were moving.
Can the Mets do it again in the 8th inning? Little high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
When Bieber did strike out McNeil in the 3rd inning, he did it with the cutter in and the slider down in and out of the zone. Well, he tried to get him to chase and not throw him anything good across the plate.
Prides himself on contact. Verlander looks on. Fouled straight back.
Lindor did not get a good lead when Bieber was delivering the baseball. He needs to be able to put pressure on the middle infielders.
Bieber's season high 103. This is 102. McNeil to left. He did his job as Marte will tag. He'll come in. Lindor to second, and he's all right, and the run scores. Jeff McNeil deep enough to Kwan in left, allows Marte to score, and the Mets in the 8th inning grab a 2-1 lead.
Heads up baseball by Francisco Lindor at first base. And he's anticipating if Kwan is going to throw the ball home, he's going to go. If he throws the ball to second, you keep the force out. Big mistake by Kwan. Now you get a runner in scoring position with Pete Alonso at the plate. Great execution by McNeil.
You can see Jose Ramirez shaking his head as if knowing, acknowledging that Kwan threw to the wrong base.
Alonso's just missed a homer twice tonight as he flew out to the track in left.
Advantage Pete in this at-bat.
Bieber now with a new season high in pitches, and 14 times this year both starters went 7 innings. This is going to be the first game where both go 8, assuming Bieber finishes the inning. 1-1. 1-2.
Jimenez wanted to pick off and called for it at second. Showed the daylight, meaning hand open, but Bieber delivered the baseball.
The Mets with the 8th inning drama again here on Sunday night. 2-1 lead. 1-2. And Alonso to center. Straw is there, but the New York Mets get Alvarez to lead things off in the 8th, and then an excuse me single from Lindor set up the sacrifice fly from McNeil. It's 2-1. Mets over the 8th inning magic. Lindor checked his swing, tried to. The shortstop was heading to second base, so the seeing eye single allowed Marte to get to third, and then the flying squirrel, Jeff McNeil, delivered the sacrifice RBI. Big night for that guy right there. Lindor the homer, and that big hit, and now it's Brooks Raley with Ottavino and Robertson both used in game 1. Raley will look for his first save in 2023. He's got 9 in his career. Kwan squares to bunt, pulls it, and that is nearly perfect. But Raley with the glove and the flip to Alonso. Wow, what a play by Brooks Raley out of the gate.
A little swag on the end too, right? Point to the crowd. Nothing wrong with that.
Pitchers, are they athletes? Are left-handed pitchers athletes? Brooks Raley just answered it right there.
A heck of a play with the glove. It's either him or nobody. The glove flip.
What a great job by Pete Alonso, also staying on the bag. Sometimes first basemen go after the baseball and there's no one there at first. Good communication.
Gary Sanchez adjusting pitch comm right now.
There are still a few good ideas left in the world. Ours was to make our own tequila. Grab a glass, amigo. Our casa is your casa.
Well, Raley now, after catching his breath thanks to a pitch comm issue to be addressed.
Was it? I think this is a smart move though. And we see this a lot in Major League Baseball games. Right, Sanchez right there with.
Ooh, that's a mistake as Ahmed Rosario gets plunked by Raley. And now the go-ahead run will come to the plate, and it will be Jose Ramirez.
Had a teammate, Eric Davis, where every time, see a little cutter right behind the calf, right on the calf muscle. He would say, "Here comes that man again. Jose Ramirez is that man."
Yeah, the other man that can't come because of what happened during the WBC, of course, is Edwin Diaz, who was arguably the best closer in baseball. And the Mets do not have the luxury of bringing him in at all this year. The after effect of that is not only is he unavailable, it affects everybody else in the bullpen. Changes their roles. 1-0. Ramirez on the ground. Lindor in the hole to second. To first. Double play to end it. Lindor and McNeil combine on it. And a gem from Verlander as he outduels Bieber. And the Mets win it 2-1. And the Mets sweep the Sunday split doubleheader in 2 hours and 6 minutes.
How about this defense? It all started with Francisco Lindor, and it ends with Francisco Lindor. Great turn right there by McNeil and the stretch of Pete to end the game.
Well done, because Ramirez can run and get down the line, even though he's batting right-handed. Yeah, you go ahead, Francisco.
And again, last year, 27th in percentage of ground balls turned into outs. This year, they're 5th. And that defense helped Buck Showalter and company win another. They moved to 2 games over 500 with a 2-1 victory.
Unrivaled taste, pure refreshment. The people who share the same spirit share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
Raley picks up his first save of the year. Bieber, the hard luck loser. Verlander, the win. That'll do it for us and our entire crew. Buster Olney, Eduardo Perez, David Cohn. I'm Carl Ravitch. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next Sunday from Atlanta for the Braves and the Phillies. Have a good night, everybody.